Discuss this debate. Democratic Congressman Elijah Cummings of Maryland. Congressman, first, let me get you to weigh in on that back and forth I just described.
Well, Ari, let's keep in mind that we have 1.3 million less jobs than we had at the time that this recession began. Logic tells you that when you give people the funds to survive, and we're only talking about an average of about $300 per week in unemployment benefits, they're going to go out and spend that money, and it's been estimated that we lose 200,000 jobs if we don't do extend these benefits. So, I mean, logic tells you if you're putting money in the economy, and it's money that people have to spend immediately, that is going to increase jobs. Logic also, therefore, tells you that if you don't do that, then the opposite happens. I mean, it's not that rocket scientist type stuff.
I think that's fair. And we were speaking to Senator Boxer about the Bush era. You know, that was back when Republicans were saying they needed to mail those checks out in that first refund back around 2001 because people would spend it right away. Well, this is a version of that. Take a look at what our own CNBC's John Harwood found when he asked a Boehner aide about where this thing was going in your house and the house you guys share. He said nowhere. What do you think?
I think that's very unfortunate. I know Speaker Boehner very well. I've watched him become very emotional about his bringing up. And you've seen it. The whole world has seen it. And I think that it's time for him to take some of that emotion and remember how it was when he was coming up and imagine people not having the funds they need to take care of their families. I mean, you know, I hear these arguments about if you extend the benefits, you're just encouraging people not to work. Let me tell you something. I wish Ron Paul and others would come to my district and talk to the people on my block and in my neighborhood, in my district, who have been unemployed. Keep in mind, too, I think since 2008, you got some 24 million plus people who have taken advantage of these benefits, and 1/5 of them have college degrees. I've talked to people who never imagined themselves being unemployed, who have put in an application day after day after day and cannot find a job. So we need to help them. Our country has gained its reputation based upon the way we treat each other when we are going through difficulty.
Well, Congressman,
and this is difficulty.
Let me jump in and ask you about that there. And this is a sensitive topic and it relates to the politics of it, but I think it goes to something a lot of people are concerned about, which is a sort of a welfareization of every economic debate. I happen to be someone that thinks welfare is an important program, so I don't even accept the premise that it's a bad thing. Having said that, what you have here is unemployment insurance, which is very different than other types of benefits. And it's precisely for people, as you were saying, who are coming out of the labor market, who've paid into the program, and it's being described like a handout.
Yeah, and I think we have a way, folks who are against these types of opportunities have a way of using code words to make them sound like you're giving people a gift. Let me tell you something. We have a lot of very hard-working Americans. They're the people that I used to see get on the early bus at 5 o'clock in the morning, and now the job is gone. And, you know, one of the things that we don't factor into this is the dignity of people. The people that I talk to, they find dignity in work. They don't like the idea of when somebody asks, what do you do? You know, that's usually the first thing people ask you after your name when you meet them, and to say, I'm unemployed. And so I think some kind of way we've got to come to our senses. Number one, I applaud the president, by the way, for calling some of those senators today. You haven't mentioned that, to get them to keep the ball rolling in the Senate. That's very important. And it's still alive. Let's keep that in mind.
It is.
Get something out of the Senate. I think that then, Ari, puts pressure on us folks in the House. But we've got to get that bill out of the Senate. And Senator Reid has said many times that what their hope was in his bill was to give the appropriate committees in the Senate time enough to come up with some type of long-term solutions with regard to unemployment. So maybe that's an answer.
I think I appreciate your point, and the president's been clear that he wants to have a jobs vote as well. I mean, he's not the one blocking those kind of floor votes. Congressman Elijah Cummings of Maryland, thank you for your perspective today.